So I'm back at it a little bit late. Sometimes that happens. So here we are on step 67 of learn intermediate algorithmic thinking by building a dice game. Last section, last part, whatever. We got 21 left. All right, so next we're going to update the score history, total rounds, and roll text. We're going to start by updating the text content for the total score text by assigning the value of total score. Below that, we're going to update the HTML content for the score history by assigning it an empty string, okay? Below that, we're going to update the text content for the current round rolls text by assigning it the rolls variable. And lastly, we'll update the current round text content by assigning it the round variable. All right. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to update the score history, the total, the rounds, and the rolls text. I got to read it twice because that's a lot. All right, so we're going to be updating the text content for the total score text by assigning it the value of total score. Okay. So we're going to do total. Whoa. Are we inside of something? I forgot. Okay, we're inside of reset game. So we'll tab this over. We'll say total score text dot text content now equals total score dot value. That's even not how you spell it. Score dot value. Hold on. Let's go look at total score. Total score. Here's total score. Okay, so we don't do total score dot value, just total score. All right. We'll do that. Turn this into a semicolon. Go to the next line. All right. Below that, we're going to update the HTML content for the score history by assigning it an empty string. So we'll say score history dot inner HTML now equals what's it say? Empty string. All right. What do we got, Dino? Well, the other option is be broke and on the streets. So, you know, I know which one I'm choosing. It really. But thank you. So let's get to it. So below that, we're going to update the text content for the current round rolls text and assigning it the rolls variable. All right. So we're going to do current round rolls text dot, what was it? Text content now equals rolls. Rolls. Where's rolls? Okay, we got rolls right here. All right, cool. Oh, and we got total score right here. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get back to it. And lastly, we're going to update the current round text content by assigning it the round variable. Okay, so it's going to be this thing right here. All right, so we'll say current round text dot text content now equals round, like that. So now let's check the code. No good. Inner HTML property set to score hips. What did I put? Inner HTML. Oh, I didn't put history. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 68. What'd you say over here? I mean, it all depends on if, you know, you have other options. Like, if you have other options to make your bread, you know, of course, why do coding? Like, if you can't, is OBS disconnected? Well, whatever. No, it's connected. Honestly, I can't, I've done a lot of jobs and this is the easiest one. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So here, the last part of our reset game function is to call the reset radio option function. And this will reset all of the radio buttons. All right. So the last part of this is to call that. So we'll say reset. Let's tab it over one. Reset radio option function, like that. And there's that. So let's go look at reset radio option. I've already forgot. Okay, so we got this right here. So it's going to say, it's going to do the opposite of if input.disabled is true. No, it's going to make input.disabled true, and it's going to make input.checked false. So it's going to change these, and it's going to do this span.text content is going to have nothing. So if we had it, I don't even know where this is, score span. So if there's scores down here, it's going to make it empty. All right. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 69. This is pretty much all I do. I do gig work, like, you know, drive ride share and stuff like that. And then if I can pick up some online work, I'll do that. But basically, this is what I'm trying to do, because I don't want to get into what ride share does, but it's not very great. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, being homeless. Who wants that? Anyway, because those guys that are homeless, that are like on TV and stuff, those guys are on some serious drugs. You know what I mean? And so like they use the I don't know if this is appropriate to talk about. They use that stuff to make being homeless less unbearable. But I think that stuff is horrible, honestly. So, you know, get to work. That's what I say. Step 69. So to reset the game after 6 rounds, we're going to need to call our reset game function inside the keep score button event listener. And then we should be able to play the game for 6 rounds in the game and have it reset for us. So to reset the game after 6 rounds, we're going to need to call the reset game function inside this keep score button event listener. Okay, so we're right here inside of this. So we're going to say reset game like that, and that will take care of that. So let's come over here and play the dice. No score, no score, no score. Oh, okay, great. Keep the above. None of the above. All right, keep it. All right, nothing, nothing, nothing. This is a bad roll. Nothing, nothing, nothing. This is horrible. Okay, 7. Woo! Look at that. 2, 2, and 3 ones. That's a terrible score. All right, keep it. Let's roll the dice. 23. Oh, I missed it. I was too impatient. You gotta be patient. That's still nothing. This is horrible. Game over. The score is 7. Lucky me. Anyway, so yeah, this game sucks, but okay. Check the game, check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right. Now we're doing step 70. So if the user rolls a 3 of a kind in a pair, then they can receive 25 points for that round. And this is known as a full house. Gotcha. For the next few steps, we're going to build out an algorithm to check for both a 3 of a kind and a pair to display that option on the screen. We're going to start by creating an arrow function called detect full house with R for the parameter name. And inside the detect full house function, we're going to create a const variable called counts and assign it an empty object. All right. Start by creating an arrow function called detect full house. Okay, so we'll say const detect full house equals R. We'll have this arrow, and then we'll have the empty object right there. And then inside of this, we're going to create a const variable, const counts. Hold on. Cap that off with a semicolon. Inside of this, we'll have const counts, and we're going to make that an empty object like that right there. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 71. The support thing. Yeah. Just refresh the page. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to sit through that thing. It's been like that. You get like they used to have like a just skip this thing, but I guess they've been really wanting more money, so they make everybody watch it now. But yeah, just press refresh, and that's all you got to do. So to count the occurrences for each number, we're going to use a for of loop to iterate through every element of the array. The variable name for the for of loop should be called num. All right. The thing is, when you press refresh, it happens every 3 times. And I think when you just let it roll, it'll go like for the next 12 times without doing it again. but at the same time, it's like a 30-second ad. So, you know, it's up to you. Anyway, so yeah, to count occurrences for each number, we're going to use a for of loop to iterate through every element of the R. The variable name for the for of loop should be num. So we'll say for const num of R. And then we'll have this right here. We'll check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 72. So inside of our for of loop, we're going to use a ternary operator to check if counts at num is truthy. If so, then we're going to increment the count by 1. Otherwise, we'll initialize counts at num with a value of 1. And then we're going to assign the entire result of our ternary to counts at num. Okay. So we're going to use a ternary to check if counts at num is truthy. Okay. So we'll say counts at num equals, because we're assigning all this thing to this, all right? So we're saying that equals, and then we're going to check if counts at num is truthy. So counts, so we'll say counts at num is truthy. If it is, we're going to say count plus plus. If not, we're going to say 1. Okay, so basically counts at num equals either count plus plus if it does exist, and if it doesn't exist, we're gonna make it equal 1. We're gonna make counts what? Increment the count by 1. What? Counts at num plus plus? Hold on. Maybe that's what they want. Okay, I didn't check it yet, but maybe that's what they want. Okay, whatever. Plus 1? Come on. It's the same thing. Check it. Okay, now what? Counts at num. Okay, question mark. Counts. Let's do plus plus again. Okay, it still hates it. All right, let's do plus 1. It's the same thing, I'm telling you. Okay, there we go. There you go, FreeCodeCamp. All right, and submit it. Now we're on to step 73. So if the counts object has a value of the number 3, then that means the user rolled a 3 of a kind. Okay. We're going to start by using the object.values method and pass in counts for the object. And this will create an array of only the counts values. Then we're going to change the includes method to pass in the number 3. And this will check if 3 is inside the new array. Okay. And lastly, we're going to assign the result to a const variable called has 3 of a kind. Okay. So if the counts object has a value of the number 3, okay, then that means the user rolled a 3 of a kind. I believe it. We'll start by using object.values method and pass in the counts. Okay, so we'll say object.values, object.values. All right. And we're going to pass in the counts and counts for the argument. Counts. Okay, so this is going to do the counts object that we've been putting stuff into, okay? And now, after that, this is going to create an array of only the counts values. Got you. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Let's open that up real quick. Object.values JavaScript. Boom. So, yeah. The object.value static method returns an array of a given object's own enumerable string-keyed property values, all right? So if we say const object1 equals this object with A, some string as the value, B has 42 as the value, and C has false in the value, and we say console.log object.values object1, so pass this into this, it's going to give us an array with some string, 42, and false. So this one's going to give us an array of whatever the counts is, and we're specifically looking for 3, all right? So then we're going to chain the includes method. So we'll say dot includes the number 3, all right? So if you forgot about the includes method, let's just look that up. Includes Boom. The includes method of array instances determines whether an array includes a certain value among its entries, returning true or false as appropriate. All right, so if we do array 1 includes 2, we've got an array with 1, 2, and 3 in it, it's going to give us true. All right, so if we do the array we're looking here counts dot includes 3, and it has 3 in it, it's going to be true, okay? And yes. And lastly, we're going to assign the result to a const variable called has 3 of a kind. Okay, so let's say const has 3 of a kind equals this. Okay, so this is going to be either true or false. If the count has 3 in it, it's going to be true. If not, it's false. So let's cap this off with a semicolon, check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 74. So if the counts object has a value of the number 2, then that means the user has rolled a pair. So we're going to start by using the object values method and pass in counts for the argument. And then we're going to chain the includes method and pass in the number 2. And this is going to check if 2 is inside the array. And then we're going to assign it to has pair. So we'll do this. Let's just take this thing right here from, actually, let's just take it all in 94. Copy that, drop it off, and we'll call this has pair. Has pair. No, has capital pair. All right. And then we're going to change this 3 to a 2. All right. So this is if it has a pair. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 75. So if the user has rolled both a pair and 3 of a kind, then they have received a full house, resulting in 25 points. So we're going to add an if statement to check if both has 3 of a kind and has pairs are true. If so, we're going to call the update radio option and pass in the number 2 and 25. So 0, 1, 2 for full house and 25. All right, because that's how much a full house is worth. So let's do that. We'll say if we're still inside of this detect full house function, so function declaration. So we'll say if, and we'll do if has pair. So let's get has 3 of a kind. Drop it off, and has pair. So if they both exist, so if they're both true, what we're going to do is call update radio option. So we'll say update radio option, and we'll pass in 2 and 25. Right. So let's go look at update radio option real quick. So update radio option, where we made that, was right here. So we're going to pass in 2, which is the option node, 0, 1, 2, full house. It's going to, score.inputs. Disabled equals false. Score value equals this. What? Oh, yeah. If we run this, it's going to disable it. After we hit this, it'll disable both of these, and then it'll add this to the score. Okay, yeah, I remember. All right, so yeah, this should be cool. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Shortcuts for the brackets array thing. What do you mean? What is that? What do you mean? Like for arrays? I don't know. What are you talking about? And then let's go to the next one. Are we on the next one? Yeah, we're on 76. So if the user did not get a full house, then the option for none of the above should be enabled with 0 points awarded, okay? So below our if statement, we'll call the update radio option function and pass the numbers 5 and 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 0 points, okay? So we'll say update radio option, and then we'll put 5, 0, right? So it'll say the 5th thing. It'll highlight this one here and make it selectable, and it'll say 0 points. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, there's a, for shortcut, like for making shortcuts, like, I mean, for making arrays, like there's no real shortcuts in my opinion, in my experience. I think it's like one of the hard things about this is we gotta, like, especially, let me pull one of these up. Like, let's go to telephone number, Roman numeral. Like this one right here, how you would make an array for this real quick. I don't know. I just type it out, you know? I mean, if you look at the video, I mean, I've come up with in my opinion, a pretty slick way of doing it. But as in like putting these in an array without going, you know, numerals equals. Yeah, I get you. But like without going numerals equals this, and then down here go M 1000, and then do another one like just keep filling it in. I don't know. I don't think there's any short way of actually doing that. I think you just have to type it out, and that's just part of programming. And sometimes if there's no array available, you got to just do it yourself, unless you make a program to make arrays, which I'm sure there is one, but I don't know it yet. So there we go. If that's what you're asking, that's what I'm talking about. So here's that. Let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 77. So to see the results of our detect full house function, we're going to call our detect full house function inside of the roll dice button event listener and pass in the dice values R variable for the argument. So we're going to try playing a few rounds of the game to see if we land on a full house. You got it. So to see the results of the detect full house function, we'll call the detect full house function inside this, okay? So we'll say we're inside of the roll dice button event listener right now, and we're going to say detect full house like that, and that should take care of it. Oh no, and then we're going to pass in the dice values R variable as the argument. So dice values are like that, right? So let's roll the dice. Nope. Oh, come on now. I hate this game. Okay. Roll the dice. It's not easy to get a full house. Oh, there it is right there. Boom. Full house. 3 2s, 2 1s. All right, great. Looks fantastic. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 78. So for the last portion of the game, we're going to need to create an algorithm that checks for the presence of a straight. A small straight is when 4 of the dice have consecutive values, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, resulting in a score of 30 points. A large straight is when all 5 dice have consecutive values, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, resulting in a score of 40 points. So we're going to start by creating an arrow function called check for straights that has R for the parameter name. Okay. So we'll say const check for straights equals R, and then we'll have the arrow, and then we'll have the empty object like that. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 79. So to check for a small or large straight, we're going to need to first sort the list of numbers in the array. We're going to use the sort method on the R parameter and pass in a callback function. For the callback function, we'll use A and B for the parameters and implicitly return A minus B. All right, so we're using the sort method with the little callback function inside of it. So now we're going to assign that entire result to a const variable called sorted numbers R. All right, what do you got here? Oh, like just putting the brackets? I don't know. I mean, it just automatically puts them up. If you just put shift, if you just put the bracket, it automatically puts it up. So you don't really need to do an alt. I mean, it's just one key and it puts them up. See? Look at that. Anyway, hopefully that's what you were asking. So yeah, we'll use the sort method on the R parameter. So we'll say r.sort. And then if you forgot about the sort method, let's bring it up real quick. Sort, boom. So the sort method of array instances sorts the elements of an array in place and returns this reference to the same array now sorted. The default sort order is ascending, built upon converting the elements into strings, then comparing their sequences of UTF-16 code unit values. All right. So I mean, it really doesn't matter. I don't really think we need to do this little number converter function, since we're not going to be doing 2-digit numbers, but it wants us to, so we'll do it. All right. But remember, this always returns a string and not an actual number. So if it's like, so we'll just have to say a comma b as the parameters, then we'll have this, and then we'll say a minus b, like that. But I don't really think we need that in this case, but whatever. If it says we need it, if it says to do it, we're going to do it. So, okay. Const sorted numbers. Okay. Const sorted numbers are equals this. All right. So check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 80. So to check if, to check for only unique numbers, we will need to use a set on our sorted number R. We're going to convert that result into an array using the spread operator. And then lastly, we're going to assign that entire result to a const variable called unique numbers R. All right. So we're going to assign it. Let's call it, let's say const. Let's bring this over one. Const unique numbers R equals, all right? And then we're going to do, remember the set. Let's do new set constructor. Is this it? No. Set constructor? There we go. So yeah, we've got the set constructor right here, which we would say new set, and then we would put the iterable, which is our array. And it's going to create a set of objects, all right? So we'll come over here and we'll say, this equals new set. And then we'll put inside of here, sorted numbers are. Let's put this. All right. And then let's wrap this in parentheses, in brackets, and put ... in front of it for the spread operator, right? And maybe that's what they want. Yes, that's what they want. All right. And the spread syntax, if you forgot, spread syntax, it just allows an iterable such as an array or string to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments for function calls or elements for array literals are expected, right? So that's basically it. So that's what we do and submit it. All right. So now we're on to step 81. So next we're going to use the join method on the unique numbers R array, okay? And we'll assign that result to a const variable called unique numbers string. And for the join method, we're going to use an empty string for the separator. Okay. So we'll say const. Actually, yeah, we'll say, actually, let's take this. Let's take this from before the bracket to the end of 105, right? Let's highlight 108 to the end of pardon me. Whatever. Let's highlight 108 and 107, drop it off like this. And then let's say over here, let's change the R to STR. All right. And then we're going to say unique numbers R, copy that. Bring this back. Dot join. All right. And we'll join it by the empty string. Right. So this will put, if it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll put it in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that in a string. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now on to step 82. So there are a total of 3 possibilities for a small straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Very true. So we're going to create a const variable called small straights R and assign it the value of an array containing the 3 string values listed above. Okay. So we'll say const small straights array R equals, we'll have the array, we'll have the first string 1, 2, 3, 4, comma. And then we'll take this, drop it off 2 times. Oops. take this. Come on now. Take this and drop it off 2 times. All right, get rid of that. We'll call this one, we'll say 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll go 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. And so let's check the code. Looks good and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 83. So there are only 2 possibilities for a large straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to create a const variable called large straights R and assign it the values of an array containing the 2 string values listed above. Okay, so let's take 109 to 108, copy that, highlight 111 to 110, drop it off, and then we'll take this last one off, and then we'll add a 5 to this first one and a 6 to the second one. And let's check the code. Come on. Oh yeah, let's call it large straights are. Call it large straights are. Right? So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 84. So if the user rolls a large straight, then the large straight radio button should be enabled with a score of 40 points. All right, so this one right here. So we'll start by creating an if statement to check if unique numbers string is included in the large straights R. And if so, we're going to call the update radio option with 4 and 40 for the arguments. Okay. Anything easy? No. All right, so let's do that. We'll say if large straights R, that's how we do it, right? Dot includes, okay, so large straights R, we'll say if large straights R dot includes unique numbers string, what we're going to do is we're going to say update, we'll call our update radio option 4, 40, like that. And that should be good. Let's see, check it. All right, and submit it. If the user rolls a small straight, then we're going to do the same thing, but with 30. And the small straights are, yeah. Where did it go? Oh, okay, here we go. To get started, we're going to iterate through what? Hold on. So if the user rolls a small straight, then the small straight radio button option should be enabled with a score of 30 points. A small straight consists of 4 separate dice rolls arranged in numerical order. So to get started, we're going to iterate through small straights R using any loop we prefer. All right, so we'll do the 4. Okay, anyway, so if using a higher order function like for each or sum, the callback function should take an argument of straight. If using for of, the loop variable should also be straight. Okay, we're going to use for each. So inside the loop, if actually we use the sum method, but regardless, inside the loop, we're going to, if the unique numbers string has a combination that matches a small straight, we're going to call the update radio option with 3 and 30 as the arguments. Okay. So we'll say small straight R. We'll do small straights. Why don't I just yoink, take this, drop this, dot sum, and then we will use the argument of straight. So straight, all right, and then we will look for the unique number string. All right. And that should be it. Straight equals, is that what it is? Straight triple equals this. Is that what it is? No. It, 'cause it includes. 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 I forgot how to do this. Let's go to sum. All right. So we would say array.sum even. So even is this element divided by 2. Element remainder operator 2 just equals 0. Yeah. Okay, what? Unique number. Hold on. Is that what you want? No. Includes. No. What was it? This one? This is killing me. Okay. If straight equals unique numbers at str, you should to check if straight is included in this. Small straights are. Okay. Dot includes straight. And straight equals unique number string. What's the problem? What's the problem? So should I do this? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Inside the loop, if unique number string has a combination that matches a small straight, we're going to call the radio option with 3. Oh, yeah. If we will call update radio option 3, 30. Check it. Okay, now it's not good still. What is this? Includes? So if array dot includes oh my god. Let's get rid of this. Small straights array dot includes unique number string and update radio option. Why is this like this? What's wrong with this? Oh. Okay, so what's the problem? You should use the includes method to check if straight is included in the... Unique number string. Okay, so let's put this. If straight, bro. Yeah, I don't care. I'm checking the next one. So what this says that they did was dot sum. Come on now. Unique numbers. Oh my God. Okay, let's do what they did. So we're going to say small straights are dot sum straight unique numbers. Is that what they did? Unique numbers string includes straight. Yeah. Unique numbers str dot includes straight. Let's get rid of the rest of this junk. All right, now what's the problem? Too few of these. There's another one. How about that? Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 86. I did cheat. I don't care. Got to get through it. They don't like to speak clearly in this. We all know that. All right, so if the user does not get a small or large straight, we're going to call the update radio option function and pass in the numbers 5 and 0 for the arguments. Okay. So if they do not get a small or large straight, so we'll say update radio option 5, 0. And there's that. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 87. So to see the results of our check for straights function, we'll call our check for straights function inside the roll dice button, event listener, and pass in the, dice values are variable for the argument. And with that, we're done. All right. So let's do that. We'll say check for straights. Like that. And that should be it. So let's roll the dice. Nothing. Okay. This game sucks, by the way. Nothing. Yay. We'll keep that. Roll the dice. Nothing. Okay. Oops. Nothing. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Yay, another 14. Keep it. Yeah. Oh, that's it. 39. Yeah, this game sucks, but that's the kind of game this is. Anyway, so that's it for well, hold on. And check the code. Oh, I didn't even have it right. No wonder we were losing, right? We should call check for straights function and pass in the dice values are. Dice values are. No wonder we were losing, right? Anyway, I don't want to go through that again. Check the code. Looks good. Woo, it's a minute. Oh, yeah. So there we go. We're done with learn intermediate algorithmic thinking by building a dice game. Tomorrow, we're going to go on ahead to the build a cash register project. Let's see. It looks like it might be hard, but I don't think it will be because I already did a cash register on the legacy. So we'll just use that as a reference. But other than that, we'll see how this one turns out. So we're going to go and do that one tomorrow. And then we'll probably finish the rest of this certification by the end of the week. All right. So with that, thank you guys for watching. And